we're very, very close growing up. He's a great dad, you know, didn't miss a sporting event. He's there for everything. Taught me everything. He was a great athlete, taught my brother and I how to be great athletes. It was all about sports, boating, fishing. He taught us everything, yeah. He's been put in bottles. I guess he'd be waking up like in the middle of the night to go like drink when we're sleeping and stuff like that. And so we didn't know, but I guess he would get it as like worst moments, like late at night when he knew that we were sleeping, and he just kind of like just go find a room and drink, I guess. But yeah, I mean that's when I knew it was bad, like really bad. I was in 8th grade, summertime, and my brother and my mom went to a lacrosse tournament out in Maryland, and it was just me and my dad at home. Kind of just would disappear to a different part of the house or go up to his bedroom, and I'd just kind of be sitting there alone, which was different for me because we're very, very close growing up. I didn't have food for dinner at night, and luckily I had family friends that lived down the road, and I said, yeah, I'm hungry. My dad's sleeping, I don't have food. And I obviously went over there. I'm very close friends with them, friends since kindergarten. They took care of me, and then it was a day after that, he was still sleeping when I got back after having dinner with them. He's a big, strong, very successful guy. He was just kind of slunched over and like shirtless and just didn't look right. And it was tough for me to see as an 8th grade kid. My mom's not home, and yeah, it was tough. And then he came downstairs and he was kind of like walking funny, and you could tell he couldn't really speak very well and kind of falling into walls and stuff like that. And that's when I called my mom and I said, yeah, something's not right with Dad. And she said, it was actually our manager at one of our restaurants in the time in Chicago. He rushed over actually to come help me out, and my dad's just kind of sitting there and kind of like crying, and I didn't really know what was going on. He wasn't really telling me anything. He was just kind of like, yeah, he just kind of just slumped over and crying. Once our manager actually got to the house, and my dad started throwing up a lot in the sink in our kitchen, and I saw everything, and I had to help him he couldn't really get his shoes on, so me and our manager kind of helped him get his like slippers on, and that's when he left for the hospital. It's when my mom got home with my brother from that lacrosse tournament. She said, well, your dad's an alcoholic. He's been struggling this for quite some time. We didn't know how to she didn't really know how to explain it to us like at the time, but I mean, I had an idea of kind of what it was when I see how stumbly he was and he's sleeping, and then I saw all the vomit and all that. So he did go sober for quite some time after that first incident. I mean, there's many instances where this has happened, unfortunately. So he did go sober for a while, but then he's relapsed so many times I can't even count. So you trust him, it's family, and they said, you know, I'll never do this again. You can't trust him at that point. It's rough. It's horrible because it's your dad, but you can't trust him. He missed a lot in my life, my older brother's life, and yeah, it was tough. You know, he missed graduation for me in high school. I didn't know what happened. My mom was just like, your dad's not going to make it. I go, and I kind of had an idea what had happened, and that was when I was senior year in high school, and that was one of his bad moments. It's getting to the point where like I don't know how much more I can deal with this. You know, my first off, I'm just thinking he's gonna die one of these times. Like, when's enough? Like, and so he finally went to rehab in Texas. Everything was good. He was in the facility and everything, and that's when I got a call from my mom. She said, your dad's trying to leave the rehab facility. He's trying to get out. And I'm just thinking, not again, because he's done this at hospitals from relapses in the past, and I still have the guy's contact my phone. It's just Zach, Dad's rehab, and my mom said, this is the guy's number, call him. I told that guy, tell my dad if he leaves that rehab facility, I'll never talk to him again. I know if he's trying to get out, he's not trying to go back home from Texas. He wants to go find a drink. Next thing you know, my mom called me crying and said he left. So it's been like a week. I don't know if my dad's alive or dead. Yeah, we're at our lake house at the time, and my mom was on the phone with her divorce lawyer. I never thought my parents would ever even have a thought about getting divorced. They've been married for 30 years, so. And I understood it, and at that point I said, I get it. First off, if he comes back alive, I don't know how you guys are going to be able to get this figured out. After that, I didn't talk to my dad for probably about a year. I shut him off. I blocked his phone number, tried to get in touch with me through my mom's phone. She cut him off too for a while. My brother cut him off. Once all three of us actually left him and said we're done, that's when he actually started to get help. And they came back into his life. I said, I'm out, I'm still out. You guys can do that. I can't deal with it anymore. And at that point, my mom and my brother did go back and start talking to him. My mom kept saying, Dad's been sober a year now, just give him a shot. I go, nope, I don't care. It's just gonna happen again. I'm not dealing with this again. I can't, this is just more trauma. I don't need this in my life. The disease is so bad that my mom said he's been great for a year. That's great to have that year of sobriety, but that doesn't mean he's not gonna go have a drink tomorrow. And it's just been, it's been a lot from all that I've seen and all that I've dealt with. At that point, I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I don't trust him. It was over a year, and I got a letter in the mail. Yeah, it was my dad wrote me a long letter, and just apologizing, handwritten letter for everything, and just kind of said, I don't know what else I can do. Just I need you back in my life. It's killing me every day. So I read the letter and I reached out to my mom and I said, I'm not welcoming Dad back in my life, but I'll meet up with him and I'll see him. I made it very brief, to be honest with you. I just kind of said hi and good to see you, and hugged him, and he was holding it back. Yeah, he's a big, strong, powerful dude, so now he's trying to hold it back. I was trying to hold it back, and it took time, but I slowly started to show myself back into his life after I could see that I really do think he's not going to touch alcohol ever again, which he may do it again. I don't know. So, and he's been sober ever since then, but it was that point where I shut him off and I said, I'm done. He hasn't had a drink since, and he knows. I said, if he ever does have a drink again, till this day, if he ever touches a bottle again, I'm done. Done. It was tough to do that and actually shut him out of my life and missed a year of my life. That'll never come back, and I know that hurts him, it hurts me, but I knew for him and his sobriety that I couldn't have him. I had to shut him out because I couldn't handle it anymore. It was tough to do. It was brutal. Missed a lot of great moments with my dad for that year. And I do think that if I didn't do what I did, it's horrible to say, but I don't think he'd be here today. There's no way, because if all of us kept welcoming him back into this horrible pattern that kept happening, and his family keeps welcoming him back, and he keeps doing this, why would he stop? He's going to keep doing it. His family doesn't, obviously, he's been to the hospital so many times, and I've seen bad stuff from him in the hospital, and just really bad injuries that have happened from alcoholism, falling down, and he had that one day where he said he wants this done. So I'm proud of him now, and he's been nothing but the greatest dad when he's sober. Nobody can beat him when he's sober. Greatest guy ever. Take a bullet for you. Yeah, you're not alone. I've been there. It's brutal. Stay strong. If you have a parent, sibling going through a rough time where it comes to drinking or drugs, you don't have that much control. So that's all I can say. Just stay strong, and there's not much you can do about it. Talk to friends and family. I mean, if you need to do like an Al-Anon meeting, that's what my mom does. That's for family members that have alcoholics in their family. That was very big for her. I know that helps. Other family around you is very important. That was important for me, my brother, my mom, to be with each other through all the rough times with my dad. It's a tough thing to go through. So any family you have around you can rely on. Friends are big too, to talk to your friends, and they had no idea how bad it was. I didn't tell them the real deal. Just kind of, he's got a drinking problem, and my friends know that my dad's an alcoholic since 8th grade. They know he's been trying to be sober the rest of his life. But so I actually did reach out to my friends when my dad went missing. I reached out to them in our group chat and I said, hey, I'm just letting you know right now, it's been like a week. I don't know if my dad's alive or dead, but I'm just letting you guys know he's off the wagon really bad this time, like really bad. And it's not going well. I don't know what's gonna happen with my mom and dad, even if he does come back. Brother was not in a good headspace. I wasn't in a good headspace. He gave us a really great life growing up. Greatest dad. You couldn't beat the guy as a dad growing up. Sounds kind of corny, but like a piece of him left once I was out of his life is what my mom and I have talked about. And him and I that was like my best friend. Went to 25 Brewers games together. All we do is watch sports together. Everything together. It makes me feel great now that 4 years has been a long run I didn't think I'd ever see in my life. So that's a good run, and I don't see him going back. I mean, it was tough to do what I did. Yeah, it was brutal. It sucked not having your dad in your life for quite a bit of time, but I had to do it. In my mind, I think that was the right thing to do. But no, I'm happy the way that everything's turned out. Obviously, sobriety is very important. That'll make you happy. Wakes up feeling good every day. He's back to working out again. And he's happy to be in Florida. He grew up in Chicago, obviously, but this is his environment. He loves it here. Obviously, he's got my mom here, I'm here. Brother comes down to visit every once in a while as well, so he's so happy to be here every day. I mean, the guy went from very successful entrepreneur to down in the dumps. He's never been happier than he is now, and he's very happy to be here. My mom and him are both happy.